This lesson is 7th grade, Learning Target 2.4, two-step algebraic equations. I'm going to give you 4 examples. We're going to solve for x on these algebraic equations. And remember, to solve an algebraic equation, we're solving for an unknown, our variable x. And in order to undo everything here, we're going to use PEMDAS, and we're going to work our way backwards, which means we're always going to add and subtract first. We will multiply and divide second. So for me, in order to see my equation, I'm going to split my equation in 2 halves, right down the middle with the equal sign. So I have a left side over here, and I've got a right side over here. The first thing I try to do is locate my variable. So my variable here is x. It's located on the left side. So I'm going to ignore this side first. So I'm going to find my variable x. I'm going to cover it up. And I see that they have a addition sign there. So the opposite of addition for us is subtraction. I'm going to do it on both sides so I keep things balanced. And they have the number 4. So I'm going to also use the number 4. I'm going to keep it the same. These 2 numbers cancel out. And 13 minus 4 is 9. And 9 is equal to what is left on my other side of my equation, which is x over 8. So I'm going to bring that down. Again, I'm trying to figure out what x is. So I'm going to cover that up. And I see that they are dividing. And the opposite of division is multiplication. Do it on both sides. Their number is 8. So my number is 8. These 2 are going to cancel. They equal 1. And 9 times 8 is 72. And with these 2 canceling, I'm going to bring down my x. So my answer is x equals 72. Now I can check to make sure if that's right by plugging my answer into my original equation up here. So I'm going to write a 72 instead. And I'm going to copy everything else down as I see it. Using PEMDAS, I would do this grouping symbol first. I would divide. So 72 divided by 8 is 9. And 9 plus 4 is 13. I am correct. For example number 2, it looks very similar. I have a 2-step equation. And I'm going to split this down the middle so that I have a left side and a right side. Again, I'm looking for my variable. It is an x, and it's on the left side. So I'm going to ignore the left for now, or the right side, and I'm going to find my variable. I'm going to cover that up, and I see an addition sign. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. Put that on both sides. And their number is a 2, so my number is a 2. And a positive 2 and a negative 2 cancel each other out. And because I have a negative sign in here, I'm going to write my work off to the side. I've got negative 4 minus 2. I'm reading from top down as I write. And I'm going to do a plus negative here. And since those 2 numbers are on the same team, I'm going to add them, which is 6. And since they're both on the negative team, I'm going to stay on the negative team. So my answer here is a negative 6. And that is equal to everything on the other side of my equation, which is my negative 6x. Again, there's my x. And I don't see any operations, but I know that this means multiplication. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. Do that on both sides. And their number is a negative 6, so my number is a negative 6. If you divide those, you get 1. And a negative 6 divided by negative 6 is a positive 1. Remember, a negative divided by negative is a positive. And I still have my x here. So x equals 1. Example number 3. I'm going to draw a line down the middle so I have a left side and a right side. Again, I'm looking for my variable, which is x. So I'm going to ignore everything on the right. and I'm going to cover up my x, and they have a subtraction sign. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. And they have a 4, so I have a 4. These two are opposites, so they cancel. And 3 plus 4 is 7. But I still have this left, so I'm going to bring it down. And again, I'm still looking for that variable x. And if I cover that up, I see they have division. So the opposite of dividing is multiplication. And their number is -8. So my number is going to be -8. I'm just putting parentheses so it stands out. Now these two numbers will cancel. And a 7 times 8 is 56. And when you multiply, a negative times a positive is a negative. And I'm going to bring down my x. My last example, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to divide it with the equal sign, so I have a left side and a right side. I'm always looking for my variable, so I see it on the left. So I'm going to cover up the other side. I'm going to cover up my x, and I see they have subtraction. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. And if their number is a 6, my number is a 6. A -6 and a +6 cancel each other out. And then these two numbers are not on the same team. He's on the negative team. He's on the positive team. So when they're on different teams, you have to subtract them. I get 9. And since the absolute value of this number is greater than the absolute value of this number, that one's greater and it's negative, so my answer is negative. I'm going to go ahead and drop down that 3x. Again, I'm looking for my variable. So I'm going to cover it up. But I don't see any operations, so I know it means multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication would be division. And if their number is 3, my number is 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. They cancel out. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. And when you divide, a negative divided by a positive is a negative.